All right, so my name is John Haro. I'm going to be talking about effective instruction real quick. Starting with curriculum core beliefs, they're talking about instruction aimed at meaning and understanding. And the whole point of this is to teach ideas that require higher level thinking. As teachers, we also want to provide opportunities to learn and apply the skills that we are teaching them. And also just gives our students opportunities to make connections with real life applications so that they're understanding why they're learning what we are teaching them. Moving on to balancing teacher guidance and student development. This is just about avoid spoon feeding our students and giving them an opportunity to develop as individual learners so that they can go out and take on new ideas or new texts on their own. Clarity of expectations goes in support of backward design curriculum. When we as teachers know what we want as the end product for a specific lesson or curriculum, we're able to work backwards for that and make sure that every activity that we're using serves a purpose to make that end goal. And this also allows our students to understand what is our expectations of them and how they can achieve that goal. Thomas and McTeague present this really helpful framework that allows us to address our curriculum and make sure that we are creating an effective, productive one. And so starting with W, we want to reflect on what to teach and why, and how we're going to have show proof of their learning of these things. H is just a hook of interest, which is really important because if you can develop this interest early in the lesson plan, it really allows for the whole lesson to go through smoothly. And so that's all about making connections to our students' interests and their personal experiences. Equipping students and with the tools they need and the skills, and also understanding the experiences that they have to support their learning. And rethink, revise, refine, and self-evaluation and reflection kind of go hand in hand with just the benefits of a teacher and students reflecting on what they have learned or how we are teaching them, and how it is beneficial or what things may be a struggle and how we can improve upon that. And tailoring lessons to student needs and strengths. This kind of goes along the lines of differentiated instruction and just having an understanding of our students' capabilities and experiences and making sure that our instructional approaches are reaching all of our students. And to organize lessons to maximize engagement and learning. This kind of goes along with the lines of the backward curriculum building and how we want to make sure that what we're teaching is interesting, is relevant, and is going to be beneficial for them in the long run. Focusing on differentiated instruction, Thomason and McTeague push forward the idea of implicit and explicit understanding of how learning works. And this is beneficial for the teacher, that when we understand how our students learn new ideas and put concepts to memory, we're better capable of teaching them effectively. And we as teachers should embrace confusion and be creative with our instruction, and that is about understanding our students. And even if there is confusion within the class, we shouldn't let that deter us, but we should actually use it as an opportunity to develop new approaches and strategies to reach students. And adapting our tools and resources effectively, so having a strong hold on our time-space strategies, our group work, how we're grouping our students, and the types of presentations that we're doing in our classroom, and just getting a good understanding of what is beneficial and what is not. And recognizing patterns and anticipating instructional needs. This goes along of just seeing how certain patterns are repeated within the classroom, and so once we're able to recognize these patterns, it allows us to anticipate the needs of our students, and so that we don't have to deal with any obstacles during our instruction, but we're prepared for that ahead of time. And expanding teaching strategies to support responsive teaching. The goal is to reach all students because one size does not fit all. And this is just about increasing our repertoire of tools and strategies and approaches so that when we are faced with a student that is a little unique or difficult to reach out to, where we have more tools to work with. And being flexible with our routines and environment. It's all about just creating an environment for our students where they're comfortable to learn, and that there's no authoritarian or authoritative figure that is just telling them to do it one way, even if they are not understanding it. And so just having that flexibility helps us to reach more of the students within our classroom. Now, Schmoker speaks about the importance of reading and how there's a need for reading more complex texts. And the way that we improve reading is by reading and reading, and having lots of opportunity to do so in the classroom and beyond. And we should not focus too much on skills-based standards. Our primary impediment to authentic reading comes from this, according to Schmoker. And so it's just having an understanding of what our students' needs are and um, they are how they are learning and what is beneficial to them, and incorporating that into our classroom. And integrating current articles and opinion pieces into the curriculum, this just really helps with the increasement of engagement and interest in the topics. When our students have a knowledge of it or an interest, then it really helps their focus in the lessons. And reading should be followed by discussion and writing, and that's just giving them opportunity to deflect or to reflect on their ideas and develop them, and also just putting them to memory. And effective conversations is about having critical and creative thinking, and also we want to get engagement from all of our students, not just the STAR students, but we also want to make sure that we involve the low performing, the shy, the quiet, the ones that are too scared. And so that's about developing that environment that they do feel invited to speak up and voice their opinions. And utilizing conflict as an opportunity is really good to teach skills such as persuasion, argumentation, and resolution of issues. And just teaching our students to be respectful, and it will really support them in their current educational goals, their future goals in college, and their career, and their social networks that they will be building as they grow older. And we also want to avoid confusion. This comes along the lines of being clear in our expectations and our focus and our topic, and teaching our students to have these focus guided questions, and so that whenever they may feel lost, they're able to get themselves back on course. And emphasizing the application of principles, laws, and discipline. And so that's all about, in the specific subject of English, making sure that they have an understanding of what these principles, laws, and discipline is within the specific subject, and putting them to practice in our conversations. And so developing academic language, developing their academic conversational skills, and just developing their understanding of the subject better. And provide opportunities to apply knowledge and skills goes back to not just teaching our students, but also giving them the chance to utilize it within the classroom under our guidance, so that they're more confident in using this beyond. Providing choice and ownership just really allows our students a chance to develop that individual learner within them, develop their individual ideas and voice, and just really find their identity within education and how they're coming to understand new concepts and ideas and express their opinions on these ideas. And of course, prompts must have a purpose. If what we're teaching has no purpose, then our students will be less inclined to actually learn it. And so making sure that our students understand why we are teaching them what we are teaching really is beneficial to both teacher and student. And the benefits of discussion: oral language is the foundation for literacy and thinking. I thought this was a really powerful quote, and how when we converse, it really helps us develop our ideas, and it also helps us develop important skills such as evaluating importance, being able to identify what is necessary or what is essential to answering a certain question, taking multiple perspectives, being able to listen to other people's opinions in a respectful manner, even if you disagree, being able to interpret the meanings of the text, and being able to utilize your understanding of the text and support from the text to persuade other people into thinking along the lines of your opinion. And students benefit from conversation before, during, and after, and this can also improve their writing as well. And that's just about giving them time to talk before readings to kind of prepare their minds for it. During the reading allows them to clear up any confusion that they may have. And then, of course, once they do have an understanding of the reading, conversation really just helps them to develop their ideas and refine it, and so that when they do come to the writing portion of the lesson, that they're at least have a good idea of what they want to talk about, and now it's just all about putting it down into words. In training students for conversation, I like how Zwires and Crawford break it down to levels, from retelling an event to generating an idea, and then actually finding support for this idea, and then of course being open to alternative perspectives. And it's all about removing the training wheels, allowing our students to take charge, and allowing them to become independent learners. And as teachers, we should be aware and able to identify the types of conversations, and our students should be able to identify the types of conversations as well. And it really just helps them to have a better understanding, and once again, allowing them to take charge, and so that if they have an ability to be the teacher for a day or be a teacher within their groups, and have an ability to understand the conversations that they're having and keep it on track, and just developing that individual skills. And so as teachers, also to be aware of the understanding or lack thereof within our students, and being able to address those needs, and staying on task, digging deeper, making connections. Students should be prepared to expand, support, and provide examples to the ideas that they develop. And as teachers, we should be teaching them these skills. And through all this, it really just helps our students to understand what it takes to be a leader, and also the benefits of being a follower or a team player as well. And as students, that they should be building each other up and not ridiculing each other, and so respecting each other's opinions. And how conversations can help with grammar vocabulary. It encourages the use of complex sentences and transitions and maintains the flow of high-level conversation. We should try to teach them to avoid too many pronouns or all or nothing terms. It's just about keeping it educational and professional, respectful, and utilize conversations for cohesion and reinforcement. And this gives opportunities for teaching vocabulary and allowing them to apply it, and focusing on words that bolster these academic conversation and ideas. And so just developing those academic language and conversational skills, and conducting meaningful exercises. And so there must be a need and a desire to use the word fully. And so when our students understand this need and desire, they're more engaged, more interested, and more likely to go through with the lesson. And writing is power. Writing and being taught how to write regularly positively affects the test scores. And so giving our students more opportunities in the classroom to write is going to be beneficial, similar to how reading, you can only get better by doing more of it. And as a teacher, consistently providing quality feedback is very beneficial to our students to encourage them to keep pushing through the struggle, because writing is a very difficult process and is a struggle no matter what skill level you're at. And providing clear expectations and preparation. That's all about allowing our students to know what we expect from them, so that as they're working towards it, they're not confused about what they need to focus on. And providing clear curricular expectations goes along the lines of this, quality is just as important as quantity, and so giving them the more opportunities to write is good, but also we want to make sure that they are getting better in their writing. And writing is a good assessment of language ability, and so it also allows us as teachers to have more insight into their skills and their needs. And Tomlinson McTee talks about grades and reports, and they talk about how high quality, once again, feedback is very beneficial to our students' learning. And when we base our grades on clear expectations, we can avoid any confusion within our students and any interference with their capacity to learn. And when we base it on clearly defined standards, we can avoid averaging of grades. We want to make sure that we have a clear assessment of our students' skills. And through that, we can also separate grading and assessments. We can't include everything into like a single grade for our students, but we can report about other factors such as their work habits, their improvement, progression, and all these things really should play into how they're progressing. And it also allows us to avoid having just a single letter define our students, but because they are so much more than that. And that is all.